Right, so tomorrow is the budget, the first budget in the new Labour government. One of them, the key thing that's coming out is that the single bus fare is going to rise from £2 to £3. So yeah, I can't get a bus pass anymore due to moving over to Pit and moving to a new area. And since then, I've having to pay £2 single fare to go places if I'm using it, and return tickets are a lot more expensive. And now the single fare is going up to £3, which is so £3 there, £3 back, £6 altogether. That's not good, is it? So anyway, this is going to make things a lot more tough. And I don't really use it this much anyway, but when I do, I'm having to pay. Yeah, so people understand tough decisions are needed to fix public finances. PM insists in pre-budget comments. Yeah, right. You always say that. Why don't you tax the rich? We never do. The bus fare cap in England will rise from £2 to £3 at the end of this year, Keir Starmer has said, as Rachel Reeves prepares to raise transport funding in this week's budget. The Prime Minister told an audience in Birmingham that the money to fund the £2 cap would run out at the end of 2024. Yeah, of course, because you're using the money to bomb everywhere, aren't you? And all the rich is hoarding the money, so why don't you just tax them? For fuck's sake. It's not rocket science. And that the Labour government would then not be able to keep it at the same level after that. Why not? You've got plenty of money. Just keep printing it. The decision by the Prime Minister and Chancellor comes despite heavy lobbying by the Labour's elected mayors to keep the cap in place, as it should, as revealed last week by The Guardian. Starmer insisted on Monday that working people would welcome such decisions as a necessary part of fixing the public finances after 14 years of Conservative government. But we're not welcoming it, are we? Whether you're working or not. And I'm disabled. Well, I can't work at the moment. I'm starting to become a student and that again. So, the Tories only funded the £2 fare cap until the end of 2024, and therefore that is the end of the funding in relation to the £2 bus fare. Sam said, "Yeah, but that's the Tories. You're Labour. You're supposed to be different. You're not, are you?" I do know that this matters, particularly in rural buses, which we need more of. And that's why I'm able to say to you this morning that in the budget we will announce there'll be a £3 cap, bus cap, yeah, on bus fares until the end of 2025, because I know how important it is. It's important to keep it at £2 or less. So that will be there in the budget on Wednesday. It is understood that bus fares in at least one major city will now rise as a result. Which one? Not Plymouth, with local leaders worried about the impact it will have on long-term passenger numbers. The Prime Minister was given a pre-budget speech in Birmingham to set expectations before what ministers warn will be a painful budget for many people. It's always painful, every year it's always the same. Things going up, benefits going down, cuts, always the same. The poor getting poorer, the rich getting richer. It's just disgraceful, including planned rises to national insurance, capital gains tax, and inheritance tax. Starmer and his senior members have spent the last few days defending their plans to increase taxes, despite having promised not to raise national insurance in their election manifesto. Yeah, they make promises which they never keep, like the 10 pledges, for instance. And that Labour manifesto was like lots of waffle. I couldn't read any of it. Much of the debate has centred on who counts as a working person, given Starmer has repeatedly promised to protect its people. The Prime Minister sought to reframe that debate on Monday, insisting that working people would welcome difficult decisions to fix the country's economy. No, we wouldn't. We won't welcome difficult. It is working people who pay the price when their government fails to deliver economic stability, he said. They've had enough of slow growth, stagnant living standards, and crumbling public services. He promised this week's budget would help deliver better days ahead, saying it is our intention to take decisions up front in the here and now, and so we can rebuild the country on that stable foundation. You can take from that the tough stuff is coming in this budget. Yeah, right. Okay. But asked whether he could guarantee that taxes would not rise in future budgets, he said, I'm going to resist the temptation to say at no point ever will there be an adjustment to everything else in the future. Really? Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Many in Labour are concerned, however, that the Prime Minister's promises of better times will not be enough to shield them from a voter backlash after this week's budget. Yeah, it's already happening with by-elections. Richard Parker, Labour Mayor for West Midlands, introduced Starmer at a Birmingham speech, but Parker is understood to be one of those particularly concerned about bus services, which the combined authority is subsiding by 50 million to 70 million a year. And not only that, we've got a lot less buses anyway. Like down here, there's not many buses going places, and when they do come, it's about once every half hour, 2 hours if it's more long distance. We need more services to more places, more regular and more cheaper as well. And that goes for the trains as well. While the spending of many government departments is likely to cut this year to help close what the Chancellor said is a 22 billion funding shortfall, whatever that means, Starmer did announce an additional 240 million to help job seekers find work. If the right work is there, yeah. The money is designed to help roll out local services to help those who have been out of work with long-term health conditions to get them back into employment. Well, I've only had like a few jobs part-time in my entire life, just recently. Before that, and now I've not really found anything suitable. And yeah, the UK is the only G7 country where economic inactivity is still higher than it was before COVID. But Prime Minister said that is not just bad for our economy. It's also bad for all those who are locked out of opportunity. Starmer also gave a hint that the Chancellor might freeze fuel duty once more at this week's budget, telling the Royal Reporter from that paper, which has campaigned to keep the freeze in place. I do understand how important this is to you, your readers and others. Yeah, do you now? Absolute disgrace. So everything's going up as usual. Bus fares going up, single fares, shocking.